All right, so today we're doing some mechanical puzzles from Hanayama. Now, Hanayama is a very popular puzzle creator, manufacturer. They work with lots of different designers and things. Most of their puzzles are more maze-like puzzles or dexterity puzzles. I'm gonna grab a couple and show y'all. They've got this one that I believe was called the violin. They've got some much more complicated ones that I'm never taking apart again, like this. And stuff, and then they've got just pretty interesting, like just move it around, figure out how to remove the ring kind of puzzle. So they're known for their metal puzzles. These are some of the only ones I've ever seen that were more mechanical style Hanayama puzzles. Ed from the future here, just wanted to let y'all know I will have Amazon affiliate links to all of these puzzles that I can find down in the description. So check them out, and if you use them, I'll make some money. Each one of them has a different solution. They also came in a black color. I don't know if that's still available or not. Not all the pieces were available in black when I started buying them, so I just made the set out of the silver color. But I have solved all of these before, but it's been years. I bought these. Some of the first things I bought back when I was getting into puzzling, so it was about 5 years ago. So I kind of remember some of the mechanisms. I really don't remember a couple of them at all, just because time has passed and I've forgotten. But that being said, I have solved these before, so this will not be a brand new experience for me, depending on how much I've forgotten. But I'm going to try to work my way through some of them. I don't know if we'll get into all of them in this video. I just figured after that long video with Sherlock's puzzle, and if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It was the last video I filmed, and it was a really intricate, very detailed puzzle, and just a great experience all around. And that was a new solve for me. But after that, I decided we're going to do a shorter video. We're going to do something I'm a little more familiar with, and I'm only going to go a little while because that last video was really long. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get into this. We have a pawn, the Hanayama pawn, and the goal is to find the coin. Each one of these has a unique coin in it, and you have to solve the mechanical element of it to remove the coin. So I'll show you all those when we get them out too. Sorry, they are a little smudgy. Like I said, I have had these a while. They're going to roll off screen. I'm going to actually move them off screen, and we're going to start with some of the simpler ones, and they do get more complicated as you get higher up the food chain with the king and queen and such. So we have the pawn, we have the rook, we have the knight, we have, and they have the names on the bottom, actually, so I don't have to guess. But, of course, we have the queen, the king, and the bishop. So we're going to start with the pawn, because I think I remember how that one goes. And then we'll just kind of work our way through them. I don't know the exact order. But if I remember right, this one was a pretty simple solve, which would make sense being the pawn, right? So I think it had something to do with removing this. Yes. I know what it was. I've already got this one figured out, y'all. Sorry, this is going to be a real quick one. But we got quite a few to go through. I don't know how many we'll make it through. But if you see, that unscrews. I think it was supposed to kind of unscrew as one piece so you didn't see all those other threads, kind of like this. But it's a little loose over the years. So it comes out like that, and then you're supposed to figure out that you can unscrew it this way, and that this thread is longer. So if you take that thread and screw it in, if you can see, there's a little button up in there. And if you screw in this longer thread, if I'm remembering correct, it will depress that button, which then opens the tube. And you see there's the little pin that was holding it shut. These are all mechanical, like I said. And then down in there is a little solve coin. See? So this one, I have the light ring off because in my last video I realized I was blinding y'all and there was a lot of glare. So when I'm doing shinier puzzles like this, it'll be a little darker. But that's cute. It's like a little lucky coin. But yeah, pawn. That's the pawn coin. We're going to set this all off screen. And we'll move on to the next one. Let's see. Let's do the knight next because I think I remember this. It has something to do with the way you turn it. If you listen, I'm going to hold everything as still as I can. Now you can hear the coin rattling around in there, but you can hear a little ball or pin or something too. And if I remember correctly, this one has to do with an orientation move. So I think you tip it nose over end, and whatever that, or you tip it nose down and spin it over. Now I heard a pin fall. I don't know if y'all could hear that. And I think there's something, maybe there's something else that has to line up first. Oh, yep. So that was it. You turn it end over end. Okay, now I can show you all the mechanic in this one. So you see this pin? If you turn it like this way, or this way, or this way, there's another pin that stops it that's inside the puzzle. I don't think we can see. But if you go specifically in this direction, then that pin will drop in. And then you can remove this once you line this little flange up with this little slot here. So just want y'all to see that. But that's what it is. It's an orientation thing. You have to move the inner pin that we can't see. See, if you go backwards, if you go this way, that pin won't fall in. You have to get rid of the pin that's in here first by going in the correct orientation when you flip it, and then that pin falls in. So that's what's going on with this one. We'll move this off screen. And let's look at this little thing. It's got a little lucky horseshoe. And then the little knight. And that's the lucky coin for that one. Now I'm moving these off screen in a way where I can put them back together fairly easy. Now we're going to get into the ones that I really don't remember. So we might start struggling a little more. So this has a star in the top that rotates. I remember that. I don't remember much other than that. Some of these puzzles, you really have to listen to them because you'll hear those pins and stuff dropping. So if you were doing that night for the first time, you would have to listen to that feedback because you can't see it. It feels like this will move. I really don't remember this at all, y'all. Try using gravity to see if anything falls out when I... Oh, something blocked it. Something blocked it from spinning when we were upside down. Stopped right there. And now this is spinning. All right. So there's that, and then it's in a slot for this one, and the coin just dumps out. So here's the coin. Looks like a little star key. See that on one side? On the other side shows the rook. So the mechanism on this one is you have to spin that around upside down so that this little pin, let me show you. Right, so you have to spin this upside down so that this little pin falls out of that hole into the top, and then you can unscrew this thread. Like that. So that's how that works. All right, gonna put this one off screen. That's 3 solved. 3 solved. Now, like I said, I've solved these before, but I had completely forgotten the mechanism for that one, so we might start struggling. So this one, the whole thing spins, and then this has a little springy top. And what that means, I don't remember, but we see he's the bishop. Trying to see if I can feel him locking in anywhere. Yep, right there, there's a little slot, and this opened up ever so slightly. So that's going to be the point where it pulls out, but I'm sure we have a pin or something that needs to be pulled in. Okay, I got it to stop again. I'm going to leave it upside down, but it's down and it's stopped. I'm going to turn this. but it felt like there was probably a second move I'm missing. Oh, nope. Okay. Wrong. There may not be a second move. So this is the pin that was holding it in place, and then you do have to get it lined up with a little slot to pull out. We'll look at the coin, and then I'm going to try to figure out exactly what's going on with that mechanism. So, here's a little owl for the bishop. We'll set the coin off. We'll set the base off. But we're going to look at this and see if we can't figure out what was causing that pin. So, and it would reset sometimes when it's not resetting now. Okay, got it to reset. So, reset, take it, this facing down, hold it on a diagonal, and it comes out. Makes sense for a bishop. It's a diagonal move. Alright, putting that with its coin offside. On to the queen. Now the queen, I remember struggling with, and I think there's a few moves involved. I do not remember what they were, but her crown comes up and down, bottom part spins, much like the bishop. Okay. All right, I think I figured out what happened. Sorry, I was a little stunned there because I wasn't expecting that, but it locked into place and then this just pulled out. But I'm going to show y'all what's going on. Okay, so I was right. This pin is directly across from the little flange that slides out. So you need it in the down orientation like that. And then this slot did matter. So you have it in the down orientation like that. And then that little flat spot I was talking about, you want that up. You want you kind of got to feel for that to kind of lock into place. But let me reset it because I know what's going on now. If I can reset it. There we go. All right, so it's reset. I'm going to spin it. All right, I'm going to show y'all. So what I did was I just found, okay, I felt where that clicked in. And then I take that and I point it down. And then I get out of that slot because I didn't want it to put pressure on the pin. And then I just open, oh, this is locked. Hang on. All right. So then you just line this up in the up position and you feel it kind of stop. and it's sitting. So there's a pin in here that drops that allows, or slides up, that allows that pin to drop. And then you just find your little slot again, and boom, comes right out. So the coin, did I move that offside? I did, didn't I? Okay, oh no, it's in there. It's locked into place now. How did that happen? Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's the queen coin. We got her figured out. Queen, and on the back side we have a little heart, so it's the Queen of Hearts. I'll move her up, but that's how that one was solved. Took me a minute, but that's that. And now, last but not least, we're going to get through all of these today. We're going to do the king. Now, I can already feel where it locks in. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a big gap on this one when it locks in. And I can actually see the slot down in there. I don't know if y'all will be able to see that. But I can feel that. This pushes down but springs up, unlike the other ones. So, I'm thinking the inner pin, once again, probably has a slot of some sort in it, that this needs to get into the correct orientation, and then a pin will fall and pull, and then probably come out. So let's just start playing with it. Although Hanayama is a little tricky. Oh, I feel something not wanting to move right. It stopped. See if maybe there's some pins locking it from the other way, like a spin move, because that spins so freely. I don't know if they have themes behind this. They did with the bishop, because the bishop was a diagonal move, and the bishop moves diagonally. So, like, this is the position it'll come all the way out in, but it felt like it wanted to stop. So do y'all hear that? It is definitely, you can feel things too when you're clicking it. So let's go back to the beginning. We're just gonna start over. We know that that kind of locks into place right there. If it's like the other ones, then that slot needs to actually face down. And we don't want to put too much pressure, because if there's a channel in there like the other ones, it's going to put pressure on the pin, and the pin won't want to move. Which, like with the queen, when we were doing that, once we pulled it to a certain orientation, that fell in. So this may be very similar, but you have to push it in to get it to fall. So let's find that notch again. Notch is right there. I'm going to point that straight down just like we did with the queen. And we're going to push this in. Nope. Oh, wait a second. Let's try doing that. Where did our lock? Okay, lock's there. Let's try doing that when it's all the way out, because there's two positions where it locks all the way out. One here and then one, where'd it go? Oh, wait a second. Might have just solved it. We did. Okay. Okay. So I was on the right track. I'll get the coin out and then I'll put it back together and show y'all. So I was on the right track. It was exactly what I was thinking. It's like the queen, just opposite, since you're pushing in instead of pulling out. So, and those two places where it locks into place were your clues. So we'll put this back in and we'll reset it. All right, we reset. Yeah. So you find where it locks in. Right there. You put that down because the pin is exactly opposite that. So you put that down, you take the pressure off. Then you find where this locks in to the high position, and then you just push it in, and I think I just felt it fall, and it'll stop. And then you pull it out. But does that work? Because there's two positions in the high position, so let's see if it works with both of them. So we had it here. We'll reset everything. All right, that's the high position. If we do it like that, it comes out. We know. Okay, so reset. Find the lower to, all right, it's down. So what if we put it in this high position and push it? Oh, okay, it didn't do it that time. So we put it in that high position. Make sure that's down. Push it in. Okay, it doesn't do it that way, so you have to have it. Yep. Okay, so there's a hole in the pin that runs through this, and it's only on one side. So you have to make sure, you have to try it both ways, basically. You may get lucky like we did, and it just falls into place. But in one of the two high positions, let me reset this. You have to get the body in the right orientation, which is this orientation where this pin is sticking straight up, which is directly across from our little flange. So you get it in that, and then you have to click it till it goes all the way out, and see that side doesn't work. It doesn't drop in. But if you go like this and go to the one that goes all the way out and do that, it drops in. So it's a 50-50 chance, I guess. It's a yeah, one way or the other. That's how it works, and you have to figure out. Hold it horizontally, this pin down, or this flange down, find the correct orientation, and it is one of the two high points. Push it in, the pin falls in, it comes out. And here we go. Here is the little king crown. Let's see if I can get that to focus a little better. There we go. So there is the king crown, and on the back, we got a little star. And so now I'm gonna put all these back together. Solved. All right, so we solved all 5 of those. Not my first time, but I hope y'all enjoyed. If you want to pick up any of these, if they have them on Amazon, I'll leave some of my Amazon affiliate links down below. I'll also just leave a affiliate link to Amazon in general. If y'all use that link, I do benefit monetarily, and thank you very much for using it. If you use any of my links and you buy stuff, I greatly appreciate it. Encourages me to keep going. But anyway, if you want to pick these up, and if they're still available, I will have links to them. I really like little mechanical puzzles like this. Not too difficult to solve, but they give you a few minutes of challenge. And then if you wait a few years and do them again, they give you a few more minutes of challenge for each one. So thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Check out my other videos, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm out of here. Later.